So this conflict, and you said you're sort of born into conflict and you're comfortable residing in it. Whether we're talking about within the commission or within the engagements that the commission is having with the public, how would you describe, as somebody who's pretty comfortable with conflict,
Well,
the state of play?
even for somebody that's comfortable, it can still be awkward. And, it's one of those things that is there, and I think in any group can be there. So I'll speak specifically, about the commission. I mean, we come at things from different points of view. Where we have our greatest success, I think, and where we've done well, is when we have been able to follow a good process and be able to relate what we're doing to, clear mandates or laws and procedures and the like. I think where we've gotten criticized, where we've had more conflict, is when it's not as clear, and we make some calls that maybe set people off in different ways. Yeah. So I think it happens also with the public. If they feel that we are respecting our mandate and following our mandate, and that there's enough communication at the right times, then I think you minimize the amount of conflict that can develop. People may not like the end result or what might be the end result, but they know that there was a fair process. So I fall back on process a lot because I think it's a way that you can navigate through some of these places where you don't really know how it's going to go or even the way it should go.
Yeah. Let me...
Austin, you asked an important question, though, about good conflict and bad conflict. Good conflict is everything we've been talking about, and in our world, it's unavoidable. Bad conflict happens a little bit, too, and that is the most minor part of it is sort of public humiliation or name-calling. We do get personally criticized. Occasionally, we get threatened. We lost what I consider just a superb commissioner because he and his wife decided they couldn't deal with that level of individual accountability to these different groups of people and what results from that. So I would want to...
This was Fred Kuntz,
Yeah.
who I guess resigned after less than a year.
He did.
In 2021.
Yeah.
And when he did so, he said, I'll just quote since you brought this up in his letter of resignation, "We have largely lost the ability to have civil public conversations. This is not the kind of environment in which I thrive." He said to the governor, "I hope your future appointments to the commission can be better politicians than me, as I am a conservation biologist at heart."
Correct. And that was as a result of some very pointed, really awful things that were said to him and about him. And so in terms of bad conflict, as long as you ask the question, I would like to get on the record that I consider that very bad conflict and very bad conduct. And we get criticized in our meetings because one of our agreed upon commission rules is that nobody uses commissioners' names for good or bad. We don't have somebody saying that person and using his or her name is awful just because it's just too prone to get too personal too quickly.
Well, we've been talking... Yeah.
I was going to say one of the things that happens or is happening is we're in this era of the internet and the Facebook post and
Sure, social media. We've been talking a lot about civil discourse at this table.
And people will hide behind that and they'll say crazy things that they wouldn't say to you to your face because they can't justify them. Yeah. But they can and they will say that.
So what you're sort of describing, we're kind of in this environment of coarseness around our civic dialogue. Right. Generally, people saying things on social media that, as you say, they wouldn't likely say in person. And then that filters down to work you're doing, which is high conflict work by itself. You add on the fuel to that fire, and the heat, I imagine, can get pretty intense. You can check out the rest of the show by clicking on the link below or by watching Inside Olympia Thursday evenings at 7 and 10.